Hello everybody, I hope this message finds you well. We're going to be discussing a couple of things on this video, and forgive me for the setup, but I have been working on a few things. In any event, I wanted to start this off with the Jupiter retrograde, and I took a little bit of notes. That's why it's different for the setup here, because I have a tendency to digress. So, what I wanted to talk about now, this Jupiter retrograde is going to be here, I think, from, the 9th through until 2025, February 2025. And what's going to happen? Well, let's talk about Jupiter. Jupiter is considered the great benefic, and it's associated with growth, expansion, new experiences, a desire to learn, a desire to broaden perspectives, good fortune, blessing, miracles, travel, wisdom, philosophy, wealth. It travels in each sign and stays there for about 12 to 13 months. Right now it's in Gemini. So it's going to be going retrograde. So how's that going to affect you? Well, Jupiter in retrograde doesn't mean that there's no wealth involved, or it's like negative, pessimistic. It's not that type of energy. It's actually a really chill energy. Depending upon, you should look up in your natal charts if you get that much into astrology, and find out where Jupiter was when you were born, and what sign and what house. In any event, let's get into this. Jupiter is going to be a time for going inward, a time for introspection, a time for reassessment, a time for transformation, reflection on like your dreams and goals, what it is that you actually want to pursue. Some of you during this time could be actually questioning your spiritual beliefs, or how your spiritual beliefs are affecting your day-to-day. Now, you could be asking yourself some pretty big questions during this time, and you might even be examining how things are making you feel that you are involved with. It's really a big time of review. I'm really picking up the belief system for some, but for some of you, I'm picking up that it's revisiting missed opportunities or good times that you had, and things that you wish you would have done better, or things that you wish you could revisit again. So it's like a revisiting time, a recentering time, rebalancing and refocusing on certain aspects of your life. Now, speaking of law, Jupiter also deals with law. So a lot of times this could be a balancing, a very karmic push, okay? So, you reap what you sow, but I'm seeing it more along the lines of going inward and internal. So Jupiter's going to be in Gemini, retrograde in Gemini until, like I said, until about February. Now, I'm going to do this with the rising signs, because I put Gemini as your air, and I consider that rising. I don't know what others do, but I'm more comfortable with that. So Aries and rising during this time period is a time for curiosity, mental exploration, and basically reflecting on what you've let go, what didn't work out, where you're going, what no longer holds on to you. So you're going to be reflecting on everything that you've let go, what is working for you. You're going to have a real, this is for Aries rising, a real curious spark within you to find out and to explore what makes you feel good and what is working with you. You'll really be clearing your mind and setting your focus. But I feel the curious vibe with you. And Taurus rising is really going to be a time for self-reflection, you tend to stress a lot and overthink a lot in the day-to-day. You always have a lot of mental clutter going on. That's going to kind of fade and chill out a little bit during this time period. You'll be going inward. You'll be connecting with your inner self. You'll be listening to, your inner wisdom, your intuition, and you will be re-examining. Now, you could be having catalysts during this time of your self-worth and your value. Some of you may have little trigger points that are going to point you in a direction that is going to benefit you during this time. But I do see it as reflection and concentrating on your worth and your self-value. Now, Gemini rising, Gemini retrograde, but this is going to be a time for your pause, a time for your mind to relax. You're going to take a breath. You're going to ground yourself. You're going to sit in silence. You're going to connect with yourself. It's going to allow you to reflect on your life. You're going to deal with your shadows. Speaking of shadows, I'll bring that up in a couple minutes. You're going to sit in silence, and you're going to reflect on your life, but you're going to find a new perspective. You're going to look at things with various perspectives. You're going to trust your intuition. You're going to start exploring your beliefs and how certain things played out, how certain people fell off from you, how certain people came to you. How you feel about the world in general is going to be a big vibe for you, and what your place in this world actually is. Where do you fit in? That's kind of the inner wisdom that you're seeking right now. It's kind of you really want to know where you fit in, what your purpose is. All right, Cancer rising. Your intuition is urging you to let go of certain ideals, people that no longer feel true, belief structures that no longer feel true. I see invitations. Well, no, I see the invitation as more along the line of you're seeing it as an invitation to let things drop and to be quiet and silence the mental noise that you've got going on and the busyness around you. I feel that some of you have been throwing yourself into being busy, so you have a lot of ideals and things being thrown at you, but now it's a time to chill in silence. I'm going to let you know that a lot of this Jupiter energy is reflection and silence, sitting in silence, sitting with yourself. So let's go roll into Leo. Leo rising, same thing. You're bringing many ideals, information, and possibilities have been coming at you. It's a time to slow it down. You've always been busy, busy, busy. And you've got all these things you want to work on. You've got all these multitasking things going on. Well, it's time to slow down, quiet the mind, focus on your body. I think this is for Leos. It's a time to focus on your health and your body. Enjoy some peace and quiet, mind, body, and spirit. Reflect on what you've learned and move forward from there. Now, Virgo rising, we've got your inner and outer worlds are connecting. I kind of got like a manifesting energy with you. This it's like what you build in the physical world started with your emotional energy and your thoughts, and you were kind of a manifester. So now it's time to tend to your inner self, your inner knowing, and what you are bringing about for your inner self. It can't all be about the physical, and everything has its proper place and organizing. You need to organize within now. What is working and what's not working. You need to look at the goals that you manifested and adjust from there, refocus and reevaluate. Libra rising, it's all about your beliefs and how they are shaping your life. You're reflecting on your personal experiences and you're rewriting your personal truth. You're taking time to listen, resolve certain things that have been going on within your structure, and you are restructuring. So you are moving pieces while listening to your intuition and what is working for you and what is not working for you. Now, Scorpio, it's time to dive deep, Scorpio. You've got some hidden truths within you, some shadow work that needs to be done. You're going to be pulling on some wisdom and strength. You need to pull back those fears and kind of feel your emotions. You're good at stuffing them down deep inside. Now you want to deal with that, peel it back. You need to really get in touch with yourself and embrace your vulnerabilities during this time. And there will be certain things that are triggering that. And I want to say that with all this, it's not like you're going to be sitting in silence. There's going to be something that sits you in silence. Could be blackouts, could be a lot of things. But there is going to be something that sits you in silence. The entire lot of you. 1111. All right, we got Sagittarius. This is your planet. Jupiter is your ruling planet. So this retrograde is really going to hit you like it's personal. You're going to take it personal. You're taking everything personal is what I get. Every little word you're taking personal. So this is a time for you to reflect on your relationships with life and how you interact with other people and your sense of belonging. Where do you belong at in this world? So you're going to start looking at your relationships with others. You're going to start looking at that mirror and exploring your triggers, where your vulnerable parts are, and you're going to have to bring that balance of logic and intuition in, because this is really the way you're interacting with others. So that's you, Sagittarius. Capricorn. Now this is creating space. Once again, we've got you sitting in stillness. Everybody, I'm telling you, something's gonna set this off for everybody. A lot of you are sitting in stillness. Everybody's sitting in stillness. Sitting in silence. It's a reflection period for you, Capricorn. Things may have been fast-paced for you, new information and experiences, but it's time to slow down and embrace life. It's time to actually rediscover silence, and you can reflect on your progress and you can contemplate on where you were and where you are now, and it'll help you get and sit in that new perspective. You've got to remember what seeds we're planting now is what's going to come about after this retrograde and into 2025. So that's a little important nugget in here, is to remember the seeds that we are planting now are going to come about in 2025. Although 2025 is endings, I'll get into that later. All right, so Aquarius retrograde. Aquarius rising during this retrograde. You may have been on a creative journey. You could have been exploring new things. This retrograde is also going to be similar to Capricorn's. It's your recent experiences, slowing down and reflection, but it's also a time to reconnect with some of your past, reconnect with the ones who made you feel good. I think you're going to kind of need it, Aquarius, because you're going to need something solid to traverse what is coming. That's what I got for you. Now, Pisces, you're always looking inward. You're always connecting with your intuition, but now you need to connect with your core, your very core. You're going to be revisiting childhood traumas, okay? You're going to be visiting childhood wounds, and you need to take this time and clear that. Clear it, heal it. It doesn't belong to you anymore. It's a time for a deep healing for you and a deeper understanding, which is going to help you as well to move forward. Now, I want to say that during this retrograde, some of you have picked up predators along the way, But when you sit in silence and you connect, okay, when you sit in silence and you connect, these predators will be revealed if they haven't already been revealed. Some of you, it's been on a 2-year trip that they've been revealed. A lot of them have fallen away, okay? But there are other predators and they're being revealed. Some of you, after this solar eclipse, from the last one in April to the one that just recently transpired, have been dealing with telepathy. So there are a lot of synchronicities, or you are chalking it off to synchronicities, but I believe a lot of you will be picking up more in the telepathy area, and I'll get into that in another time. So we've got magic. Now, magic is manifesting. Magic is also creation. Once realized is, so magic is all, magic is God, God is all, and it's manifesting. So it's creation once realized it is. That's kind of what I'm getting around this retrograde energy. Some of you are going to notice within the stillness some telepathic abilities starting to come online. You're going to be able to connect and figure out who's working for you, who's not, and get rid of the predators. But some of you are also going to be embracing the magic and the creation around you of what is. All right. So we've got that. Now, I pulled a couple of tarot for this retrograde, and it didn't surprise me. We had the Two of Pentacles. The Two of Pentacles, the physical and the spiritual. It's balancing, it's juggling, it's going in, and it's, juggling both. Your inner self, your inner knowledge, your inner wisdom on the outer world as well. So it is the physical and the spiritual. So you will be juggling that. And what did I say about the retrograde? It's really a time for stillness. It's a time for self-reflection. It's a time for going inner. And we've got the Four of Swords. So it's a respite. So a lot of you will find yourself in that energy or wanting to be in that energy. But I believe there are events that are coming about that are going to put you in that energy. Now, I wanted to talk to you about shadow. The other day, because a lot of you are going to be getting into shadow work. Now, I meant to come on here yesterday with this, but I got waylaid. So I'm going to tag it on to our Jupiter retrograde. Now, I may be doing and bringing about a workshop for shadow work, okay? It is currently in the works, and when it is ready to go up and live, I will put it on my website, Daughters of Avalon, which is in the progress now. Any rate, the other morning when I was doing my meditation, I was sitting in silence. Yes, I'm already picking up that retrograde, Jupiter retrograde. I was actually sitting in silence, and I felt a presence, and I shifted my perspective to look down on myself almost immediately, because you never know what's trying to attach, to you. So I looked at my hands, and I noticed that they were covered by a set of masculine hands. So I immediately moved them, and it moved in sync with me. So I started immediately asking about my sovereignty several times, and each time that I got the response that yes, I was sovereign. Then I heard rather loud, I am shadow. So I sat still for a moment, and I started trying, I'm no longer really in a meditation because my mind is now working. And it was trying to work out if this was my masculine shadow, and I heard it again. I am shadow. So I asked one of my spirit guides to step forward, one that could help me with this, and my ancestor actually stepped forward, Grandfather Running Wolf, and he acknowledged my shadow. And what he said was, now is the time for shadow work. And the reason why I'm bringing it up, yes, there were other things said concerning my shadow and doing my shadow work, which I said, well, look, I'm coming out of the dark night of the soul. Didn't I deal with my shadow then? When I was informed that no, I had not. So, but a lot of people haven't, and a lot of people who have went through their dark night of the soul thought that they were dealing with their shadow, and that's not it at all. So there's a lot of people that have denied a part of themselves, regardless of whether it was because they didn't think it was acceptable, people wouldn't like them, people would find, things too dark, their traumas that they experienced, things that they hid about themselves. And it's all going to be coming out during this retrograde, and a lot of people are going to be dealing with their shadow. So like I said, I'm going to be putting together, and I will let you know, but right now it's balance is needed, and there is going to be a lot of shadow work that is actually done during this retrograde. So like I said, I will let you know, and this video has already went to 21 minutes, so I'll do a separate video for a collective read. I appreciate you all, and I hope this video finds you well. And if you're still here, if you're interested in a shadow workshop, comment below or shoot me an email. Thank you so very much, and I will catch you on the next one. Enjoy your Jupiter retrograde.